Hello and welcome to Fan TV. It's 7:30, it's Wednesday, and it's me, Toby Tarrant. I'll be here live until 9:30 tonight. Last night's show saw the return of Rick Astley, aka Rick and Ashley, to the lime green sofas, with Rich claiming Jose has lost his mojo, baby. I think they should listen to Rick's music a little more. What happened to Never Gonna Give You Up, eh? They have dropped Mourinho like an annoying ex-girlfriend over at Manchester. The clipboard-destroying cheeky boys were back, and Dave was quickly activated to defend his beloved Fergie from a tirade of abuse from Justin and Joel. Those cheeky boys then showed us a clip of Juan Mata dissing Dave's beard. To be fair, it's better than anything I could grow. So Dave, I'm on your side with this. Hashtag Mata out. Mata out. Next up, our pie-loving Burnley fan Andy was joined by Arsenal and PSG fan Jamie, who left our Spurs fan Stuart speechless on Skype after suggesting the door in his house leads straight to the Europa League. Turns out he was right, wasn't he? To round off the show, we had City fan Nigel in his vintage Bournemouth shirt, joined by Lisa for some more Pep-loving. They then joined the Mourinho-bashing brigade after claiming he needs to get a life and stop moaning in the press. And I agree, it's getting boring. Let's bring back the old Jose, please. Now let's take a look at the highlights. Lovely boys! Oh, I love you so much! I love you so much! Oh my God! I love you so much!
Prior to Man United not playing very well, you asked Man United fans, they were like, we're going to win the league. A lot of them were saying
whoa.
No,
it's not just hold on. Let me just hold on. No. I'm in now. You can't finish. That statement has brought me in. That statement has activated me. I'm back in. I can't even stop. You're going to give me a second. But the reality of the fact is, not only were you Man United fans saying that, everyone was saying that.
Hang on a minute. You're getting members of the family in. What's happening? Separated at birth.
Look at this. Come here. Come on.
Facial hair. What's going on there?
I love you, Pete.
He's just kissed him.
I love you so much,
He's kissed him
baby.
twice.
Where does the door go, Stu?
Where does that door go?
Yeah.
That door goes to my hallway, which is where I do all my
Stuart, where does your door go?
Are you sure it doesn't go to the Europa League, Stu?
Oh, quality! Touch me!
That's good.
How right that Arsenal fan was. Now, on to tonight's show. Joining me on the sofa in just a sec, it's the Fulham boys, Lee and Morgan. They are both cycling to the game on Saturday at Brighton. Might have to lend them our Fan TV cushions for that one, all right, chaps? You can borrow it. At 8 p.m, I'll have Richard and Nini. Their teams played each other at the end of October. Hope that there isn't still bad blood between them. Nathan Staples is back on Skype to update us on Ligue 1, on how the French sides are doing in Europe, and Giroud as well. There'll be lots of chat about Olivier Giroud coming up. From 8:30, Jack and James from Football Fancast are here to help everyone with their fantasy football picks for this weekend, and for all of us to see if they got any right last week. I highly doubt it. Next up, Stadium Hopper Richard and Man vs Fat Football Dan will be on the lime greens to talk about life on the road and slimming clubs mixed with football. If you're confused, so am I. Don't worry, I'll find out more at 8:45. From 9 p.m, pals Peter and Steve are here to talk about their clubs Leyton Orient and Everton. Their teams have only faced each other 9 times. This is probably the strongest friendship we will ever have on the show. No conflict here, guys, no conflict here. Not forgetting, it's match day 5 in the Champions League, so throughout the show, I'll have Skype updates from Arsenal versus PSG and Mönchengladbach versus Man City. Now, let's bring out my first guest. It's Liam Morgan. Come on, Liam Morgan. Come on, chaps. Here we go. Hello. Good to see you. How are you doing, all right?
Hello.
Good to see you, chaps. Take a seat. How the devil are we?
Not bad.
Yeah,
not bad.
Not too shabby. Good to see you. I haven't had the pleasure before. You've been on before, but not with myself.
Yes,
We've
we
been
have
with
been
JLC the last couple of times.
Yeah? Was it something I said, or?
Yeah.
It was?
Yeah. No, we got given a choice.
Oh, you weren't given a choice?
And,
Okay.
But now, we didn't get given a choice.
So,
But it's lovely to meet you.
you guys. So, I mean, from seeing you guys when you're on with Justin, I've seen you a little bit, you guys talking about your cycle away days with Fulham, but obviously refresh for the people that don't know what it's all about and tell us a bit about it.
Oh, well, we cycle away to as many Fulham games as we can in aid of a charity called CALM, Campaign Against Living Miserably. On the shirt here, we've got Save the Mail.
Yeah, and just so everyone knows as well, on our Twitter page and stuff now, we're going to direct everyone towards that website.
Yeah, it's a great website. It's a charity that's very close to our hearts. It's anti-male suicide prevention charity. Like I was telling the lads in the green room, it's the biggest killer of men under 45.
Yeah,
it's suicide. Every day, 12 men take their lives. That's just over a football team a day, and it's wrong. And we're trying to change the attitude and trying to get the stigma away from it and open up, and people basically talk to us.
Yeah, and in this case, using football is a great avenue for it. Our last game that we went to, the last Fulham game, was Wigan away. And when you're telling people that you've just cycled from London to Wigan, and they look at you with a really confused look on your face, and you say, "Why are you doing it?" Well, this is why we're doing it.
I feel like I'm looking at you now. Yeah.
It was not made worse by the fact it was the most boring 0-0 draw you could have ever imagined.
Yeah, we were a bit hacked off, weren't we? We were a bit hacked off.
Yeah, they could have actually put some.
And then you've got that week cycle home thinking about the game.
Yeah, exactly. No, we just tied it to the back of a train and just kind of like went along. But no, it's been great actually. They're getting a really good conversation going. Social media is perfect for something like this, and sort of getting people involved with that. A lot of people sort of contributing their own stories, and so over the last few weeks, just trying to build it up, planning. We haven't been able to do a lot of the games so far, but after the new year, got the big one to Newcastle. That'll be fun. In a way.
You look ecstatic about it.
Yeah, can't wait. As long as it don't rain, I think I'm happy.
We're going to Newcastle, mate.
Yeah.
How long do you reckon that's going to take to Newcastle?
Well, you can actually do a Newcastle to London ride in 24 hours. So 3-4 days, maybe, I think.
On what?
Horseback.
I mean, how long have you guys set aside for it?
Probably about 3 days.
I'd say if we left Wednesday, we might just make kickoff.
Yeah.
But then there's a few shorter ones, sort of like nice to do Cardiff, Sheffield Wednesday.
That still seems like an awful long way to me.
Yeah, it's a
shorter
4-hour drive. Yeah.
It's not too bad. It's like when you do Wigan and Preston, it's just up the road. But this Saturday we're doing Brighton.
Yes, I saw this. So you're doing the game at Brighton, because most people leave Brighton with a sore bum, but you're going to arrive.
Well, at least the evening won't hurt.
He's done us.
That's an interesting approach. No, but I saw Brighton this week, so that's comparatively, that's just a little.
Well, it could go one of two ways. This, because we've got a great away record, second best away record in the league. They've got the best home record. So it could be another really boring 0-0 draw by the sounds of it.
Yeah, it's shaping up perfectly for one. Be worth the cycle. And explain to me, all I've written here as a question is, where's Barry? Guys, where's Barry?
Where is Barry?
I tried to get Barry Hales down here today to have a...
Former Fulham legend, Barry Hales.
Legend, absolute top
Still
lad.
Fulham legend.
Still Fulham legend, sorry.
Really nice lad. I recently cycled up to Peterborough for Chesham. He plays for Chesham, and I weren't doing nothing that weekend, so I thought to myself, do you know what? Let's branch it out. Let's get to as many people as I can. And Chesham, their Twitter, the fans, even the chairman, absolutely phenomenal. All of them were backing me. I was in the stadium. The chairman come up to me and said, I can't believe what you've done. It's absolutely unbelievable. Next time you're here at Chesham, come to see me and you'll be my guest of honour. It'll be an absolute privilege to take you around the club. And just
Is it fair to say that you got more loving from Chesham than you did from your own club, Fulham?
Yeah.
Well, we actually got love from Chesham.
And
we got a little tweet on our way up to Wigan. I think I was cycling through at this point.
Nice.
We were in Newcastle under Lyme, and my phone buzzed, and it's like tweet from Fulham. Like, great. I've been cycling for about 24 hours now, and this is the first thing I've seen from you. And it's like, well, yeah, great support. I want to cry at the moment. I'm just going through this pedestrianised bit of Newcastle under Lyme, and it's I'm just running over a sheep.
Isn't it?
It is poor form, like Chesham, the fans were absolutely phenomenal. The club have been absolutely amazing. Even the players were walking up to me as I was waiting for an interview with a radio show. And the players were walking up to me going, I can't believe what you've done. How long did it take you? I left my house at 4:30 in the morning. I got to Fulham at 5:05 in the morning. It was freezing. Toby, it was freezing. I literally just, right, that's it, just do it, just carry on, just keep on at it. And I got there at 3:05 in the afternoon.
Wow.
It hurt. I've actually
That's
got an
more
injury.
time than I think I've spent on a bike in my life than you managed to do it in one day.
He did ring me up from the side of the road going, I've got another puncture.
Oh, really?
I had 2 punctures.
Oh, really?
And massive thank you to London Phoenix Cycle Club, who stopped and actually helped me.
Did they? Well done, London Phoenix. Well done, London Phoenix. Well done, London Phoenix. We're going to take a break, but we'll talk about football as well after the break. But it's a great cause. Really well done, guys, and good luck going to Brighton this weekend. We have got a poll that's been running for a bit already on Twitter at FanTVUK. So last night, one English side topped their group, the other was eliminated. Which would you prioritise, the league or the Champions League? Let us know on Twitter at FanTVUK with your opinion. At the moment, league is winning with 63%. And Champions League has 37%. That poll will be running for the rest of the evening here on Fan TV. We are live on Sky 212, Facebook and YouTube. And if you want to get in touch with the show, it's the same address, Twitter at Fan TV UK. And if you want to Skype us and join us here on the lime green sofas, metaphorically, you'll be a floating head behind me, then you can do so. We are the Fan TV channel on Skype. So if you have an opinion about any of the games going on tonight or last night as well, or your team's game coming up this weekend, then let us know and get in touch, because this show is all about the fans. We will see you in just a sec. Don't go anywhere. I can't believe you'd say that about your missus live on television. That's shocking. Sorry. Welcome back to Fan TV. You're in so much trouble. We are across all the scores going on the Champions League tonight, but somebody at Fan TV forgot to charge the iPad, so I'm going to just be doing it off my phone, and that's the kind of budget we've got here. I can tell you the earlier games, Bayern Munich lost away at Rostov, 3-2. Definitely didn't ruin all my accumulators. Definitely not. Well done, Bayern. And Besiktas drew 3-3 in the early game with Benfica. They were 3-1 down at one point, so a good point for them in the end. And before we start talking about Fulham, there is, of course, 3 British teams in action in the Champions League tonight. And I think we have the squads. Arsenal first. We have the team that's playing tonight. Ospina, Jenkinson, Mustafi, Koscielny, Gibbs, Coquelin, Ramsey, Alexis, Ozil, Iwobi, and Giroud there for Arsenal. Obviously got a few injury problems in the fullback position, and Ospina takes up his usual place in goal there. I think a point's a good result for Arsenal tonight, though. That should top them the group. So as we've got the Celtic team, who are playing Barcelona. Good luck. There we go, and there's the team. I mean, nice easy names to say here. Gordon, Lustig, Simunovic, and Sviatchenko, Izaguirre, Brown, Armstrong, Rogic, McGregor, Sinclair, and Dembele as well. Hell of a team. I'm sure Neymar, Messi and Suarez are quaking in their boots at the thought of going up against Michael Lustig at right back. And we have the City team as well that are away at Borussia Mönchengladbach tonight as well. Brilliant. Just pictures of them. Make it easy to either. Right, should we give this a go here? Claudio Bravo, Otamendi, John Stones, Kolarov, Fernandinho, Gundogan, Sterling, Silva, De Bruyne, Jesus Navas and Aguero up front. There we go. Here we go.
Barry, misspent using Panini albums. Right?
And there's why I don't have a girlfriend. Barry has joined us in spirit behind you on the sofa.
Yep, say hello, Barry.
So he totally has.
Bit rude, Barry, with his back to us the whole night. Come on, Barry, mate. Cheer up. But that is the actual shirt that he wore?
Yeah, this is an actual shirt we're auctioning off at the moment for Calm, for our charity, our Just Giving page. He wore this during 2004.
2003, 2004, I think.
Season. He signed it, and Barry's agreed to meet the buyer.
Oh, really?
Have a beer with him, have a chat with him, and just.
Is that why he didn't come on tonight? He was like, I'll tease them. Don't give it all to them just now. Let them wait. We
haven't told him about this yet.
He's meeting them, by the way. Just give him his address. Just give him his address. They just turn up.
He just lives at Chesham Stadium now.
Oh, good.
He just moves from stadium to stadium wherever club he plays.
Perfect. Well, there you go. If you need to find Barry Hales, he's at Cheshire. There's a sentence I didn't think I was going to be saying tonight. Let's talk about Fulham. It's going quite well.
It's going really well. It's a massive turn off the book.
8th in the Championship, and it's right outside the playoffs. I mean, that's the league. You've only got to be anywhere in the top half, and you're right in with a chance.
Kind of nosebleed territory for us for the last 3 years.
It really
totally
is.
Massively.
Since you've gone down, you've been certainly probably the most entertaining team in the Championship, conceding and scoring goals left, right, and centre. There's a bit more of a solidarity about you this season. We'll say a bit less gung ho than maybe you had been since you first went down.
Well, we've started using tactics.
Oh, I've heard about these.
Which is great. Slavisa's come in. He's kind of implemented his thought process. Before, I mean, God love him, but Kit Simons wasn't the most sort of tactically clever managers. And it was just like, well, if they score 3, we'll score 4. Yeah. It's kind of like a sort of young Kevin Keegan.
Yeah.
And it just didn't really work. And before that, we had the whole sort of McGatt debacle and everything
together
that.
with him. Watching Fulham under McGatt was just an absolute joke.
That was the strangest appointment.
Everything about that was weird. I remember seeing it because it happened on Valentine's Day. In 2014. I remember because I was out.
I remember it.
I was out on some singles night or something like that.
You were with me.
And I saw, that's me. Right. Yeah, we were sort of like looking lovingly into
speed dates. My phone went off. And Felix Magath's the Fulham manager. It was madness.
Yeah.
It was madness.
And that happened. And that happened for a bit longer than we'd hoped.
Yeah.
And it's just taken a few years to sort of get the club sort of back together again. And Slavisa's such a strong personality, and he does have experience sort of managing in the Championship, which is great. We didn't have that before, so he's we're just seeing a lot more solidity within the team. I think sort of on Saturday, I wasn't at the game, but from what I heard, we could have old Fulham would have lost 4-5-0, 4-5-1.
Heads gone down. We go 1-0 down, heads go down, and you can see it like. A couple of years ago, heads went down under McGatt.
Yeah.
And there was no fight, there was no passion. Now, we've got a massive... We've kind of turned it around, and Slavisa's got to take a massive credit to that.
Lost one of your last 6 and a 91st minute equaliser against Sheffield Wednesday. So there seems to be a bit of mental toughness as well. We're going to come back to Fulham, but you guys are quite happy. We're going to speak to a man on Skype who may not be quite as happy, a Tottenham fan. But first, we've got a couple of tweets we can show you in reaction to last night. This was the Tottenham fan that made the mistake of tweeting Southampton. So Southampton put up a tweet to say, 20 years ago today, Ali Dia almost netted on his Saints FC debut. Ali Dia, what a legend. A Tottenham fan made the mistake of tweeting slow day at the office, to which Southampton's verified account replied, We're actually getting ready for tomorrow's UEL game. Sure, you'll know all about that very soon. Really good that from Southampton. Well done, Southampton. Well done. And we have another tweet here as well. It's from a parody Danny Welbeck account, this. Tell a man a joke, he can laugh for a minute. Show a man Tottenham Hotspur, he can laugh for a lifetime. There we go. There we go. And now to Johnny Vance on Twitter in reaction to both of those. Hello, Johnny, are you there? Oh, Johnny. I mean, I feel for you, Johnny. I saw you were here on the lime green sofa with me just a week ago, and you felt positive about the Monaco game. Where did it all go wrong, Johnny?
There's so many reasons. I could be all night ranting about it, and I'm always positive about Tottenham, but tonight and last night I am genuinely livid. It's difficult to put a finger on exactly why. Like I said, there were just so many reasons. We had and do have the best defence in the English Premier League, yet we bench most of them. There were some players there was about 2 or 3 players that come away with some credit. The fact was we just weren't good enough, and we didn't deserve to win on the night. We didn't deserve to win at Wembley at any point, and I think the players need to have a serious look at themselves.
It's interesting you say that about the players need to have a serious look at themselves. Pochettino hinted at something similar, saying that mentally the side isn't quite there. We saw Tottenham capitulate at the end of last season. They obviously got trounced by Newcastle last game of the season, and they dropped points against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge when they needed them.
Thank you.
And that's all we have time for. So cheers, Johnny. And then last night obviously was a kind of sink or swim game for them. It's a very young side, and does that sometimes come through, do you think, when you watch them in these crunch games?
Do you know what? I think so. I always try and stay away from the Spursy side of it, but it's a young side that I think last season should have learned their lessons. And then you look at the Champions League campaign, and I don't think they have. To be perfectly frank, it's extremely frustrating. I would have thought it would have come with a little bit more about them in the big games, but they haven't delivered, and they can't hide from that.
Now, what do you want? You're currently in 3rd in the group. You're a point clear of CSKA. Would you rather finish 4th and be done with Europe altogether, or is Europa League? It's a viable option into Champions League in theory.
For me, personally, and I wouldn't want to talk down about the Europa League because it can be a great competition, but we've been in it so many times. I genuinely, I'd be happy if you put the youth team out and gave them a bit of experience at Wembley. And if we lost the game, I honestly, I couldn't care less. I don't want to be in it. I mean, I'll support the boys all the way, but we need to now focus on the league. I think the Europa League, for us, again, I think it could be costly to go back in it. I don't want it. I hate it. There we go. I absolutely hate it.
He started kind of reasonable. He started off by going, I don't want to be too mean about the Europa League, and it culminated in going, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. You guys weren't very happy with him criticising Europa League. That was your finest hour.
Yeah,
It was our finest hour.
It all went downhill after that. But I mean, it's sort of like that season was amazing.
Yeah.
Still paying it off.
Stop being mean about the Europa League, Johnny. Stop being mean about Europa League.
Well, we've been in it for about 100 years, fellas. It's like the twilight zone. We can't get out of it, no matter what we do. And I must say, I've met both the lads there before. You do a fantastic job, boys.
Cheers, Johnny, mate. Johnny, mate.
Getting on well.
Always good to hear from you, Johnny, mate. Hopefully we'll speak soon in nicer circumstances. Maybe next week after a win over Chelsea on the weekend, mate.
Maybe next week. And I must just say, I'd never make light of it, but I'm not going to. No, let's just say, I'll see you next week.
Wait. You can't leave us with that, Johnny. You can't leave us with that. Johnny, you can't leave us in suspense. What were you going to say, Johnny? Share with the group.
So we're talking about the very serious subject of male suicide, then you come to a Tottenham Hotspur fan.
If ever there was one. Johnny, mate, thank you. Good to hear from you. Cheers,
Take
mate.
care.
Thank you. Cheers, Johnny. Bless him. He wasn't in great spirits, was he? He wasn't in great spirits.
It's a weird one, that. I mean, Monaco is not exactly the most intimidating place to go.
I know.
But they haven't lost at home in the Champions League for 16 years or something.
It's mad, isn't it?
I mean, they weren't in it for a few of those, but...
I would have liked that stat before I put on my accumulator last night.
That's why I left them off. But it's like, I don't think they've had a full house there for ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Stade Louis? Yeah, no, they don't.
it's
They
small,
struggle,
isn't
don't
it,
they?
you
Yeah.
know?
I mean, there's
12, 13,000 a game.
only about 10 people in Monaco.
Yeah.
And they're all on
boats waiting for the Grand Prix.
They're the taxpayers.
exactly that. Let's finish on Fulham. Got a couple of minutes to go before we say goodbye. But Brighton away, you guys are cycling there on Saturday, of course. Huge game, massive game. Is this going to kind of a litmus test of where you're at, do you think?
I think it is.
I think the result probably. I'm not sure if the result will matter too much because Brighton are looking pretty sort of very solid at the moment.
Yeah.
They've got Knockhart back, who's been away for family reasons apparently, and he's a cracking player. But if we play like we've been playing, if we play like we did against Brentford anyway,
even Huddersfield when we just
5-0.
Oh, yeah.
Huddersfield.
But I think
we could beat anybody on our day, but
we need to play well. We need to keep the spirits up. Sort of. It's a tough game, no doubt. But we can definitely get something there. We got something there last year, didn't we?
I take your point though about the result in terms of Brighton look like they're going to be the best of the rest in the Championship.
Yeah.
Obviously Newcastle look like they're going to run away with it.
Yeah.
So if you did drop points there, you say it's more about performance in a way. Obviously any points a bonus, but plenty of teams are going to.
Well, it depends how hard the cycle is.
We're taking the cushions, by the way.
Take
we haven't actually got a ticket yet, so we're hoping to. We've got to do that at some point.
Yeah, we got to buy a ticket. Yeah.
So we may be sitting with the Brighton fans.
You probably do that. You cycle all the way there and go, I could have sworn I had something. Can I get a prediction on the scoreline?
I'm going to go 2-2.
3-1 Fulham.
3-1 Fulham.
It's my birthday, so we're going to go with it.
Well, there we go. Happy birthday.
It's not my birthday, so I'm happy with 2-2.
There we go. Perfect, guys. It's been really good having you on. We appreciate you coming on, and good luck with the cycle. Good luck with the rest of the cycles as well. And Fulham, if you're watching, help these guys out and get him a ticket for the Brighton game on Saturday as well. It's his birthday, for crying out loud.
Exactly.
Cheers, guys. Thank you very much. We will be back in a few moments' time here on Fan TV and across all the goals as they go in. I can tell you it is currently still 0-0 in all the Champions League games taking part tonight, but we'll let you know as soon as the goals go in. See you in a bit. Hi there, welcome back. The Fulham fans have left the lime green sofa, but they are cycling to Brighton this weekend for an amazing cause. If you head to the Fan TV Twitter page, all the information you need to know about that is there. Please go and have a look. It's awesome stuff. Let's get a couple more fans here on the lime green sofa. It is Richard and Nini. Come on, Richard and Nini. Come on, chaps. Hello, Nini. Good to see you, mate. How you doing, all right?
You all right?
Saw you last week.
Yeah,
How you doing, all right?
Yeah, not bad, mate.
Take a seat, take a seat, take a seat. Who should we start with? Let's do Chelsea first. Come on, let's do Chelsea first. Happy? 1-0 away at Middlesbrough? You can't be too disappointed, can you?
Yeah, I was happy. I thought it was a good game, a good result.
Is it kind of one of those games where it's almost the stuff of champions? Do you start getting a bit carried away now? Anyone can go and beat Everton 5-0, that says a Liverpool fan, but going and grinding out a 1-0 win away at Middlesbrough, is that a bit more pleasing in a way?
Yeah, definitely. To be fair, after that United game, I told everyone we're going to win the league, and I'm still staying by that. I think we're the favourites for the league now. I think Middlesbrough, they've been our hardest game so far, but I was really pleased because when they played against us, tactically they were really on point. They tried to, stop the fullbacks the wing backs having too much joy against us. They defended really deep. They tried to force us from wide areas to play centrally to, defend in front of us and stuff like that. But I thought I was really pleased with their performance because even though Middlesbrough made it really hard, still the quality of the players, quality of the play, still created quite a few chances. Definitely should have been more than 1-0. And yeah, I think, told the whole league we're favourites now.
3 points win the Premier League's never a bad thing, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's interesting you touched on the fact that they tried to thwart your wing-backs, if you like. Did you ever think you'd see the day where the key to stopping Chelsea was stopping Victor Moses? Because I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, you could say it like that. But I think for the system, the fullbacks are the wing-backs, I keep saying fullbacks, the wing-backs are the most important part.
You're still getting used to the system as well. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the wing-backs are the most important part because they effectively make four midfield. So if you stop them, then you reduce the numbers in midfield and, force us back. Like any time they counter-attacked, it was always down wide, down Alonso's sides or Moses' sides. And I think I'm expecting to see a lot of teams play similarly to Middlesbrough now.
Yeah,
we play them.
They'll be used as a blueprint, I think.
Yeah.
We'll keep talking about Chelsea, but feel free to get involved when we talk about Chelsea anytime. We're going to have another Chelsea fan join us to Skype as well. You're getting outnumbered here, getting absolutely outnumbered. Hello there, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very, very well, thank you. I'm very well. We're just discussing Chelsea at the minute. I mean, it's going very well since this switch to the 3-4-3 or whatever it is exactly. You've been immense and not conceded a goal as well. You've been steamrolling teams recently, but did we see another side of Chelsea against Middlesbrough, a bit more metal maybe?
I certainly think so. I think what's important to recognise, I think we've solidified our status as title challengers given the recent form we've produced. But of course, a required trait of any Premier League champion is the ability to win, perhaps in a dirty manner, in a difficult manner against an opponent who defended resolutely. And I think that we testified our capability to do that against Middlesbrough on the weekend.
Conte came out, we were discussing, I don't know if you heard about Victor Moses and the transformation of him as a wing-back at Chelsea and how it's come to the point now where teams actually set up a plan to stop Victor Moses. Conte came out and said that he spotted his talent from the first days of the summer working with him. Nobody else did. Is it a position change or has Victor Moses always had the ability? It's just the manager that's finally loving him and using him, or what do you think it is?
Well, I would argue that the majority of Chelsea supporters did recognise his abilities. In every pre-season since the 2012-2013, he's arguably been our best player. And of course, in that 2012-2013 season, he also scored 10 goals and was an indispensable figure in the latter stages of the Europa League. So it was a strange decision to see him depart on loan the following season. I definitely think that it's a position change from Moses' perspective. I think he entwines physicality with purposeful direct running, and that's why he's been so fantastic at the wing-back position, and his transition to that position has been absolutely seamless.
You're nodding there. You're nodding with the Victor Moses. Chelsea fans maybe have had a bit of time through?
Yeah, definitely. Every pre-season, he's always been one of our best performers. And, as the fans saying, he scored, 10, 11 goals his first season. That's when he was 21. That's still his best goal-scoring, form throughout his entire career. And you'd really think someone 21... not really starting every game, getting 11 goals for the year. Really think that he should have been in the squad. He could have developed further, But Mourinho came, clearly didn't fancy him, and then forced him out to lots of different teams that didn't really play him often.
Yeah. It was nice to see Chelsea giving young English talent a chance,
exactly.
as Jamie Redknapp said. Huge game this weekend, massive game. Spurs. Prediction before I let you go on Skype?
Well, I'm hoping for a narrow victory.
You're hoping for a narrow victory. That's a bit negative.
Well, I'm hoping for a victory, but I think it'd be a narrow victory.
You think it'll be a narrow one, yeah? Yeah. It's probably a good time to play Tottenham. I don't think they're in the best place at the minute.
Yeah, exactly. They've lost Alderweireld, he's not playing. Rose isn't playing, so not really scoring much. I think it's going to be comfortable. I think we're going to get another clean sheet. 2-0. That's what I'm going for.
2-0. Fair enough. Thank you very much for joining us on Skype. Sorry, I didn't catch your name, by the way.
My name's Kian, and thank you very much for having me.
And you, mate. All the best. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you.
Yeah,
Cheers. Thank you very much. Hello. Sorry. It was very Chelsea heavy chat there, but welcome.
Thank you.
Southampton. Well, I mean, as a Liverpool fan, you stifled us, I suppose, is the word on the weekend. Happy with that performance, though?
On the whole, yeah. I mean, we defended very well. We went out with a plan to stop the Liverpool front three. I think the only thing I wasn't that happy with are usually quite reliable technical midfield players who's just giving the ball away for 90 minutes. I think if we could have dominated the midfield with Wijnaldum in there was the possibility to control a lot of the ball in there, and we didn't do that, and it made it much more difficult for us to transition into attacking positions. Charlie Austin got the ball up front quite a few times and was completely isolated, and I mean he's an out-and-out goal scorer. He doesn't do a hell of a lot else. That's me being a little bit harsh to Austin, but by the time he sort of held up the ball for a few seconds, there was still absolutely no one making a run into the box, and then he just lost it and Liverpool attacked us again.
Is that where the weakness is in Southampton? You look quite solid, but it's just scoring goals seems to be the issue for you guys at the moment.
Yeah. Austin scored a few this season, but people forget that I think he scored 4 penalties. He's getting into good positions, scoring a few good goals, but he's missing a lot of chances. He had that absolute sitter against Liverpool on Sunday, missed that, and he's missed quite a few. I think off the ball, he's not the greatest either. We play that sort of fluid front three with people dropping off, all mixing around. And when he's not in that 6-yard box just outside there, he doesn't do a huge amount.
Head of that ball. There's been a goal. Arsenal 0, Paris Saint-Germain 1, I can tell you. Edison Cavani has scored there, and one of the guys that works here at Fan TV, Matt, is at the game. Sorry, back to Southampton. Goal scoring seems to be the main issue for you guys, and you've been linked with, having seen him very briefly on the weekend, a loan move for Daniel Sturridge in January.
I can understand why we've been linked to him. It's the usual sort of tabloid stuff. We're not scoring goals. He's a natural goal scorer. There's that Liverpool-Southampton thing where it's easy column inches for people to link players from one to the other. But loan's not really our style for players, unless you have an option to buy. We did it with Bertrand. He's came out all right, so we chucked them the money to get him full time. I'd be surprised if we move away from the transfer model that we've got and just throw a load of money on a 6-month loan for Daniel Sturridge. But we need a goal scorer, and if he's available, why not? My only concern is he's another out-and-out number 9. He's quite selfish, and I can't see him fitting that happily into a front three where he's going to be just as expected to knock the ball off to someone else as he is to take a shot himself. I'd far prefer, obviously we can't have him, but far prefer a player in the Firmino mould than a Daniel Sturridge type striker.
Yeah, wouldn't we all? Yeah. It's a very well-trodden path, the Southampton to Liverpool route. And Van Dijk passed his audition for the Liverpool job very well, didn't he?
He was amazing. Good thing for us is his contract runs for another 6.5 years, I think, 5.5 years. So if Liverpool do want to come in, we'll take all of your transfer budget for the summer. I
mean, it must be frustrating. I mean, all joking aside, and Liverpool, sorry, have taken a lot of them, I'm sorry to say.
That's right.
But in the last 3 years, they're flying in. City are losing away at Borussia Mönchengladbach as well. City are 1-0 down. Raphael, I think, has scored for Borussia Mönchengladbach. Not a good night for English football so far. We'll come on to Southampton tomorrow night. Hopefully you're going to fly the flag a bit better than they are. But no, I mean, Southampton, they've sold £185 million worth of players. They've lost 2 managers and a chief exec in 3 years. And I think it's fair to say, I don't know if you agree, Southampton often media darlings. The media do love a bit of Southampton.
Yeah, I think justly, it's justified. The way they run their club is brilliant. Their transfer activity is perfect. A lot of times, I'll give a brief example. When Spurs sold Bale, they sold him for 100 million. They bought 8 different players and it didn't really suit a system or a style. Every time Southampton sell a player, they buy a player in that exact same mould. When they had Lambert, They signed Pella.
Yeah.
Lallana brought in Mane. They brought in Buffal. Classy to replace Raniama, who replaced Jack Cork. I'm saying it wrong.
Yeah, it was.
And Luke Shaw going, Bertrand coming. And that's why they always continually are in the top 10 of the league.
Okay, I'll play devil's advocate here, what's going on today? What's going on? I'm going to get whiplash. Celtic are losing to Barcelona. Well done, Britain. Well done, Britain. Good stuff, guys. All British teams are now 1-0 down in the Champions League. Messi scored that one, surprise, surprise. No, the reason I asked that is I get the praise for Southampton. It's a brilliantly run club, and the youth academy is sublime. But at what point does building for the future, at what point does the future have to come? At what point is it not just being a smart business model, but being a lack of ambition?
I think we're hamstrung quite a lot by financial fair play, which is Bruce Buck of Chelsea came out when it brought in. He goes, this is absolutely ridiculous. We've been allowed to build up a club, and then they're coming in and telling everyone else they're not allowed to do it. There's that limit on increases to wages every year and less funded by transfer activity. So our hands are tied. We had one of the lowest wage budgets in the league when we came up, obviously, from being a lower league team. And that money's got to come from somewhere. And if Liverpool are prepared to pay us 25, 30 million for players that are worth 15, 20 max, we can buy a new player for 15 million plus increase the wages of 4 or 5 players in the first team. And you've seen over the last summer and the transfer window before, every single one of our first team players, with the exception of Font, I think, has been tied down onto a long-term contract.
I've got to interrupt you because we're going to break, but you completely rinsed me. So I got nothing. Thanks very much. You're spot on. Well done. We'll be back in just a sec. Cheers. It feels like the table's got further away. Sorry, I don't know. You've just joined us back here on Fan TV. In the break there, before the break, we're discussing how the model at Southampton is brilliantly run, but there was one notable exception in recent memory. Danny Osvaldo, record signing. Talk to us about Danny.
Yeah, so he came in having scored a decent number of goals.
Roma, did you sign him from?
I think so. It was one of those teams. And I think he was in the Italy squad at the time as well. Came in, scored that amazing goal against City where he turned Company inside out and bent into the top corner. And then he headbutted Jose Font in training. And then he was suspended then. We then farmed him out on loan to a few places. Finally, I think just paid out the rest of his contract a year or so ago. He's go.
See, it only took me 2 minutes adverts to come up with a response, but Danny Osvaldo is my response. We'll come back to Chelsea and Southampton in a moment, but right now we are going to get an update with our man Nathan Staples, who is our French football expert. He's going to join us on Skype.
Le rapport des matchs.
Literally never gets old. I love that so much. Nathan, how are you doing? All right?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very, very well. I'm very, very well. Good to see you.
Good. Yeah, good to see you again.
And you are, of course, our French football expert. Paris Saint-Germain 1-0 up already away at Arsenal. That would be a massive, massive result for them tonight, wouldn't it?
Yes, it's a strange one. We've been discussing this on our podcast that for Paris Saint-Germain, it would be a good win, obviously, to beat Arsenal and a good statement. But this year's Champions League, if you think about it, the teams that would finish second at the moment, there's the likes of Real Madrid would finish second. There's Man City that could finish second, or Barcelona in their group. There's Atletico Madrid or Bayern Munich in one group. Do you know how these draws tend to work, and they sometimes work against you? It's not always going to be the easiest thing to finish first, but it's a big bonus. And from what I've seen so far, it does seem like Paris Saint-Germain are comfortably on top, and it's Edison Cavani at the back post who's snuck one in to give Paris Saint-Germain a good lead.
Well, I don't know how the first game, the previous fixture, Paris Saint-Germain Arsenal, was a draw, because Paris Saint-Germain should have absolutely walked away with that game that night. Cavani missed a hatful, so he's making amends tonight. But a great week for French teams in European football, because Monaco last night, let's talk about that. Huge result, and their home record in Europe is unbelievable. Spurs fell victim of that again.
Yeah, and it's been terrific for a number of years, and they were really, really good last night. Whoever watched that game, I mean, people will be disappointed, obviously, here in England that Tottenham couldn't progress, and they may feel that a team like Monaco is a team they should be beaten, but Monaco were terrific last night. They really were, and at times it could have been 4 or 5. I thought Benjamin Mendy, the left back they bought from Marseille in the summer, he was sensational. We saw the likes of Thomas Lemar and Bernardo Silva, 2 fantastic young players that they've got. They've got such a solid midfield pairing in Fabinho and Timothy Bakayoko. They were absolutely dominant. I mean, other than the penalty that's a little bit soft in my view, he does pull Dele Alli Black Glick, but it's a relatively soft penalty. But they were really, really good last night and well deserved the win. And you could see the determination into getting that result from the fact that as soon as Tottenham equalised, it was 16 seconds that it took for Monaco to get back into the lead. So that just shows you how on top they were and how much they wanted this win that sees them through and should see them top of the group as well.
Yeah, I thought they were excellent. They were excellent at Wembley as well a couple of months ago as well. Superb. And Lyon won as well last night, a team with a good European pedigree as well. But let's look forward to Ligue 1, as they say in France. It's amazing, effortless. I can just slip into it like that. It's incredible. Nice, a great result for them. They won away at Saint Etienne last weekend, and 3 points clear, still at the top of the league, just when it looked like their bubble might have burst as well.
Yeah, and it's a really good result considering that Mario Balotelli's injured. He's not going to make the game on tomorrow night in the Europa League, and he's missing the game at the weekend against Bastia. So getting a result against a team in Saint-Etienne who are notoriously stubborn, especially at home. And it was a really good... It wasn't the best of games, but it was a really good result for Nice. They didn't play to the best of their ability, I would say, but they grabbed a really good goal through Valentin Asseric, who was on loan at Saint-Etienne last season. And it was a big win, especially with Paris Saint-Germain winning 2-0, Monaco winning 3-0. Getting that pressure behind them, they needed to maintain that current form they've had, especially with Balotelli out, who's been grabbing goals of fun for them, really. And, you know, it just shows you what they've got, really. They've got a little bit of strength and depth. I think they can't afford any more injuries. They were already missing Paul Bice at the back as well. Any more injuries in that midfield area, or someone like Alisson Player, who's their only other striker, then they might start falling away. But that was a big result for them the other night. And if they can keep this going into that winter break, then you've got to consider them title contenders. And that's a massive surprise in Ligue 1 this season.
Yeah, fair play to them. And a bit like we said with Chelsea, it's the stuff of champions to go and win 1-0 away from home. So it showed another side of Nice that we perhaps didn't know was there. We're going to let you go, but go back. You can get back into bed by the look of things.
I think I might do. That's the right plan.
Don't be afraid to clean up your windowsill either, mate, before next week.
I like to be unkempt. It's the style, isn't it?
It's the French way. It's the French way. Mate, Nathan, really good to hear from you. Thank you very much for your update.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, mate. See you next week. Thank you. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you, Nathan.
Le rapport des matchs.
Don't even. We're going to play a game with you chaps now. We're going to play. Have you played What's the Peter Ramage before? You've been on it before. Have you ever played that?
I don't think I have.
I don't think you have. Have you played it before?
No, I haven't.
Well, let's play a game of What's the Peter Ramage. Here we go. You lucky things. That was confusing. If you've never seen the show before, you just briefly saw a picture of Kim Jong-un pop up there. I can't explain. That's another game. We're not playing that one tonight, guys. No. Still no. Right, third time's the charm. You ready? Right, pretend it never happened. This definitely isn't live, okay? Let's play a game of What's the Peter Ramage? Amazing. We didn't charge the iPad, so I'm getting the scores up on my phone. We're trying to play What's the Peter Ramage. We keep flashing a picture of Kim Jong-un every 20 seconds. Right, okay, let's play a game of What's the Peter Ramage, no matter what comes up now. Nothing. Brilliant. Oh, yes. Yeah, there we go. There he is. Well done. It is a slick operation here at Fan TV tonight, as ever. In case you're wondering, we are live. We are live on Sky 212, Facebook and YouTube. The way the game works is it's What's the Damage, basically. So we're going to give you a few items, and you have to tell us whether the next one is higher or lower than the one before, okay? Or Eric Dyer or Leonardo Ulloa. Yeah, you like that? Okay. Tell your face that you liked it. Right. So, tonight, though, it's a bit of a difference. So we've got some of the top goal scorers in Europe, and you're going to play against each other, and you need to tell us whether the guy before or after, the guy after scored less or more goals so far this season. You got that?
Is there like a prize?
Have you seen the budget? You saw how difficult it was getting into the show. Of course we don't have a prize. You can take... I was going to say the squirrel, but there'll be uproar. No, you've got nothing. Absolutely nothing. You can pick something cheap off the shelf behind me. Okay, cool. Right, let's get the first player up. I haven't seen these myself, but there he is. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. So I can tell you, how many goals do you think he scored this season?
13.
So lower, probably about 8 or 9.
We're going on league goals, by the way. I should make that.
Oh,
yeah.
About 8 or 9.
I can tell you it's 12. 12. But you don't win anything. That was just a test to see where you're at. It was a good start. It was a good, promising start. Cool. So this is the business end now.
Serious now.
Okay, so the next player is Diego Costa. So it's higher or lower than 12 league goals?
Lower than 12 league goals.
Yeah, lower.
Lower? Any gonna wager a guess?
10.
So I was going to say 9.
Yeah, 10. 10 is correct. 10 is correct. Well,
I'm a fan, so I should know that.
You should know that.
Yeah.
You should know that. Well done. You both get the point. Edison Cavani scored tonight already against Arsenal at the Emirates, but league goals in France, higher or lower than 10, do you think?
What if I think it's the same?
Does a player rhyme with same? Leroy Samey. There we go. If you think it's the same, you can say Leroy Samey.
Leroy Samey. Gotta say that.
Dyer, higher.
Going Dyer higher? Higher or lower than 10?
I'm sticking with Leroy Samey. Yeah.
The third option that never existed today. That might be a clue that it's not going to be correct. Otherwise, we might have prepared for this eventuality. I can tell you, sorry, how many goals have we got? It's 11. It's more. It's Dyer. So we've got a lead here. One up. Right, next player. 11 league goals. Sergio Aguero. Kun Aguero.
Lower than 11.
Yeah, lower. He was injured, wasn't he?
You want any ideas how many?
I think it's 8.
Got me on my fantasy team, or shouldn't I? 7 or 8, so.
It's 8. So still one up. Next player. That looks like a Herenveen logo. I have absolutely no idea who that is.
I think that's that Modeste guy.
Oh, Anthony Modeste.
Modeste.
Yeah. Higher or lower than 8?
Than 8.
No idea. We'll say lower then, because I've got no idea.
Okay. It's 12. 12 higher. So was that a tie-in? That's our last player.
Yeah, that's the last
one.
one.
Well done. That's a fair. Well done. Well done if you played at home as well, or if you were playing Kim or Kim and you got very confused. Well done to whatever you did there. Sorry, that was a game of What's the Peter Ramage. Now we're going to prove that it works. Yes. Look at that. Well done. There we go. No expense spared here tonight on Fan TV. We're going to let you go. Before I do, I want to talk about tomorrow night, Southampton. Are you going to fly the flag a bit better than the British teams have done tonight?
I can see it being a draw, to be honest. They need a point to go through. If we get a point, we're pretty well set up for... We've got one home game after that, so I can see it being pretty cagey. I'd fancy us to nick it just, but yeah, I reckon
Is it fair to say that Southampton, when we heard Johnny Vance, the Spurs fan, who Skyped us in a bit earlier, criticising Europa League, but Saints seem to be quite excited about it this season.
I mean, the Inter game at St Mary's was one of the best atmospheres I've ever experienced at the ground. We haven't had European football since the 80s, so bar knocking out in the qualifying rounds in 2004. And I think we've taken to it. We've had a plan for it, rotated players, so players are fresh for both competitions. And it's sort of argument that teams can't cope with it. Everyone else in Europe seems to manage it. Yeah. You've got a squad of 25 players. Why are you getting surprised when one of your first team squad members is putting in a bad performance? They shouldn't be at the club if they can't play to that sort of level.
Yeah, I think there is a mental aspect as well, because Thursday to Sunday is no different than Wednesday to Saturday. Sometimes you do Wednesday to the early kick-off on a Saturday, and it doesn't seem to affect those teams as much. So, no, it's nice to see a club embracing the Europa League. I think with the Champions League at the end as well. I think, it's good to see Southampton getting stuck into that. And Chelsea, we touched on it briefly, but a massive, massive game, Spurs on Saturday. Good time to play them or bad time to play them, do you think?
I think it's the perfect time to play them. I'm really looking forward to this game, especially, that game last year, Battle of the Bridge, 2-2. You hear the likes of Danny Rose, I'm hearing reports of the Spurs players crying after that game. Rose was saying straight afterwards that, they're looking forward to this game.
There's a sickening glint in your eye that made you so happy.
I've got a big grin on my face.
Exactly. I am happy about that, and I think it's the perfect time to play them. Losing Alderweireld, Rose, two main defensive players for them. Playing us at home in this new system, I don't think they're able to cope against the 3-4-3.
Prediction for that score?
I'm going to go for 2-0, but every time I seem to predict a score, I'm always like one goal short.
So it'll be a goal within 2-0, and we've literally got 10 seconds to go. Southampton tomorrow going to draw. What are you going to do against Everton, against Coleman on the weekend?
Beat them. They're the only lot of beating us this season.
This year. You heard it here first. Right, we are live. We'll see you in a bit. Hi there, it's Fan TV. As ever, we're live on Sky 212, Facebook and YouTube. You can tweet us at Fan TV UK and you can get involved on Skype as well on the Fan TV channel. Coming onto the lime green sofas now, it is Jack and James from Football Fancast. I love having these guys on as they always tell me to put Liverpool players in my team. Hopefully more of them today. Dan and Richard are here to tell me about their stadium hopping travels and about weight loss football as well. So far, I've made 3 grounds out of the 92 this season, so I wonder how I'll compare to those guys. Joining me at 9, O's fan Peter and Evertonian Steve. They are football friends, but their teams are 83 places apart from each other. Probably a good thing, or they may no longer want to be friends. Not forgetting it's matchday 5 in the Champions League as well, so throughout the show, I'll have Skype updates from Arsenal versus PSG and Mönchengladbach versus City. I can tell you that all 3 British teams are losing 1-0 at the moment in the Champions League. Let's get Jack and James out here and talk some fantasy football. Come on, chaps. Good to see you, mate. How you been, all right?
Hello, mate.
Good
How
to
are
see
you?
you. Yes, chaps. Very, very well. Very, very, very. Oh, you're going to go over the edge. You're going to go over the edge. Stand up and squeeze. Stand up and squeeze. Yeah,
Here we are.
Perfect.
Here we are.
Oh, it could have been ugly. Could have been an ugly start to the new era on Fan TV, the new 2-hour era. We're leaner.
I know.
We're slimmer. Well,
Leaner and meaner.
Exactly, leaner and meaner. Perfect. Let's talk about fantasy football. We have got your highlights, if you can call them that, of your predictions from last week. Should we take a look?
No, thank you.
No. No. Right. Let's have a look.
This is all statistical. I promise you, I did the research.
I did not know you put him in there.
Highest points per 90 in the Premier League. No, see, that's the point. They don't always start. When they're on the pitch, they get your points.
Great.
These 3 players are the players that you just cannot afford not to have.
Yeah, need to have them in there.
Yeah.
But he picked up a knock, didn't he?
Yeah.
Before the international break, I think. I'm not entirely sure how long he's out for, but I think you start with Kane. He's back in the fold now. He should be.
So
all right
that was his choice, putting Kane in this, because I would never have done that.
You would never have put Harry Kane in. Those your words?
See, so we had Costa replacements up there. I kept Costa in, and he did me proud. I didn't put Kane in, and he would have. I'm not going to say proud, but he would have got me some points.
He would have scored twice against you. So,
Yeah.
as a West Ham fan, when look at Jack,
It was so funny.
I'm still gutted about it, by the way, as well. I can't believe it.
So as a West Ham fan, when Harry Kane was scoring twice, to not only condemn you to defeat, but also you were sitting there going, my big fantasy football tip for this weekend was not to put Harry Kane in for Diego Costa. Is that what you're telling me, James?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like a double whammy.
Just checking. Just checking. Your predictions were quite good in that video, I thought,
Thank
Jack.
you very much, yeah. Yours weren't.
Anyway, this week we're going to nail it, yeah?
Of course we are.
Yeah.
As ever.
As ever, definitely.
Always.
I mean, you're our fantasy football experts. You wouldn't possibly steer us wrong, surely.
No.
Right, well, let's have a look at your predictions for this week. This is a good idea, though, this first one. This is players not in Europe, so players with no midweek burdens this week. Talk us through your selections.
Go on then.
Well, my 2 picks are left and right. The ones that don't wear claret and blue. I think Balassi, I know they spent a lot of money on him. He'll probably struggle this weekend because he's against a European giant that is Southampton. But no, you've got to take into consideration. I think Balassi, Everton, they're playing us. We're playing away in the Czech Republic tomorrow night, so it's a long trip back. And I know it's put back to the late kickoff on Sunday. Sorry, but he's always got the sort of potential there to cause trouble against teams, and especially over the festive period, he's a sort of street player. So. Mm-hmm. The games will come thick and fast for him to create chances and win points. You can talk up Lanzini for a bit if you like.
Yeah, I mean, on the back of such a disappointing result, Lanzini was sort of a rare shining light in West Ham's performance. And I was shocked when I was looking at the stats, actually, that he's only owned by 0.3% of players.
Yeah, that's surprising.
I mean, twice now he's scored 2 penalties at those 3 goals, which means he's West Ham's second penalty taker, with Noble sort of been off the pitch. So he's a set-piece taker. And with him and Payet, they sort of rotate. So he's a sort of a secondary point scorer, if you will. If Payet's off the ball, then Lanzini's going to score some points as well. So if you're going to dare put any West Ham players in, then Lanzini's
one of the few that make
one of the
cut.
few that
One
will
of the
score
few
some
that make the
points.
cut. And Pereira's been immense as well for Watford. Everything's been going through him.
Yeah.
We're going to come back to fantasy football in a sec, but we have an update, I believe, from the Arsenal game. Somebody who's watching the game for us. Also, just to let you know, it is 1-1 Man City now in the game against Mönchengladbach. Hello, mate. Hello, Sam. How are you doing? You all right?
Oh, good.
Just a very quick one, mate. Literally a very quick update. Talk us through the goal, Cavani's goal.
Oh, Cavani's goal. Arsenal fell asleep and they got in and, well, I forgot his name. Matuidi got in and crossed in and Cavani scored. That's 1-0 for you. Just basically classic Arsenal defending in it. And then the Arsenal goal, it was PSG sloppy play. Ozil's in, passes to Alexis Sanchez. Alexis Sanchez cuts inside. Kuchowiak catches him and it's a penalty and Giroud tucks it away 1-1. It's as simple as that.
It's 1-1 there, and that's a good result for Arsenal. That will you take a draw tonight?
Personally, I want to win. I want to, finish top of the group so we can avoid the big guns. I mean, I know Bayern Munich might finish second in their group, but still, I would still like to avoid the rest of the big guns.
Fair enough. Sam, mate, thank you very much for Skyping us. We'll get in touch a bit later on. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Sam. Right, moving on to waiting in the wings, which I saw this graphic earlier and I had no idea what you were talking about.
So we've sort of picked out a few. The whole sort of the genius behind fantasy football, I suppose, is being able to pick a player that is due a sort of hot streak of form.
Okay, yeah.
Being able to pick it ahead of the guys you're in a league with. So we've picked 3 here that they're all good players in their own right, but they haven't really hit the heights this season. And especially with the Christmas period coming up, if you hit form, you're bound to get some points.
Yeah.
The thought behind waiting on the wings is because all 3 tend to play quite wide.
See what you did there.
So it was like waiting on the wings. That was actually Jack that came up with that.
Was that you, Jack?
Yeah.
Well done, Jack.
Now you know.
Yeah. No.
There is some thought behind it.
No, exactly. And it is actually a good point because those are the sort of players that I keep looking at and considering putting in, and I'm going, they've been naff this season. But if you can get a few weeks ahead of everybody else of them, it could be massive. And nice picture. You got a Christian there. I'm sure he's delighted about that one. Let's move on to FanDuel, which is the other much more detailed version of fantasy football, if you like, that runs daily and weekly through the Football Fancast. And this is the Ultimate 11 from last week.
Yep.
This is, yeah.
That's right.
I mean, I never thought I'd see the day that Victor Anichebe was in the team of the week ever again. What's got into him? He's a man possessed at the moment.
Well, I think he's benefited from Defoe and a little bit of game time as well. I think Moyes has put a bit of trust in him. I'm pretty sure 0% of people would have had an Anichebe in their FanDuel team last week. But fair play to him, he's getting game time. I genuinely cannot believe he's making a living in the Premier League still. But he's there and he's scoring goals. He's scored more goals than any West Ham striker, so I can't really say much.
Yeah. The rest of the team is pretty much as you'd expect. There's an example here of how FanDuel's far more detailed. The fact that Winston Reid's in the team, despite the fact they conceded 2 goals. In other fantasy footballs, that would just be the week ruined
got
for
sent
you.
off as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very good point. But he got a hell of it. He was immense before that.
He got 2 assists and he was very good. So.
Yeah. That's impressive, getting the team of the week with a red card and conceding 3 goals as well. Fair play to Winston. And this is your joint team for the weekend coming up?
It is, yeah.
Jack and James is...
So we've stuck this in there's a Fan TV launch now.
Yeah, so tell us about this.
So it's a free league to enter. I believe you guys are tweeting it out.
Yeah, so head to Twitter if you want to get involved in this FanDuel. Raj has given me a thumbs up. He runs the Twitter. He's given me a thumbs up. So there's a Fan TV league set up for anyone that watches the show, presenters.
Yeah, anyone that's watching, you can stick a team in. I mean, you won't beat us, but you can have a go. There's 25 quid up for grabs, free to enter. And of course, we've left 1.5 million in the bank, so we're not sure whether Herrera's going to play at the weekend, but we can change him a minute before kick-off.
You can change your team up until the end. The key thing is there's 25 quid up for grabs. I think the winner of it all gets 10 quid, I think. And then it's staggered up until the top 10 out of 100. There's 100 places in the league.
Okay.
It's free money because it's free to enter.
Free money.
So you can change your team.
You've got to sign up through the link on the Twitter. You can't sign up any other way. So
you've got to sign up for the link on the Twitter.
Fan TV Twitter.
Perfect, guys. At Fan TV UK on the Twitter page. That's where you need to head if you want to get involved in our Fan TV FanDuel League. Let's go through the team, and I'm going to steal some ideas because I'm going to enter this, and I've got to beat you now. So you can change it right up until the last second. I have to admit, it looks like a very strong team. You sure you've got £1.5 million left? Have you tampered with this?
No.
That looks like a serious team. Is anyone else seeing a serious team here? I mean, Firmino, Lukaku, Costa, Mane, Yaya, Toure, Van Dijk.
We've gone by the averages per game. They're all pretty high. I mean, Jenko's probably the lowest there, but we know he's going to get a game at the weekend. So, you know, he's going to probably rack up
That
some
must be the
points
quite
as well.
nice thing about FanDuel that's different as well, is as much as I see Jenkinson right now is going to be playing for Arsenal for a few weeks, but I won't put him in my fantasy football team because that's a sub gone. So it's quite nice for FanDuel that you can almost react week by week.
Chop and
week by
change,
week.
yeah.
That's fine. I mean, Yaya Touré's another one. He's not playing tonight because he's not in the Champions League squad, but he's probably going to start the weekend. And he's got the highest average points in the whole game because of his one game. He's got 2 goals. Well worth putting him in. And he's pretty cheap because no one expected him to ever play for City again. So.
That's it. I mean, I'm looking at it, and Gareth McCall 700,000 left in Yaya Touré, which is a weird, warped state of play, isn't it? It kind of says it all. No, I think you're right. I think Yaya is one that's probably in 0% of people's teams at the minute. But if he's going to play in the Premier League, it looks like he's going to do well, isn't he?
That's right.
Yeah. Well, guys, it's been lovely getting you on the lime green sofas. It's so short nowadays.
I know.
It's a 2-hour show. But we'll rinse you for your rubbish predictions same time next week. Does that sound good?
Look forward to it.
Well, we're not here next week, are we?
No, we aren't.
Neither
of
us are here next week.
Neither of you are here next week.
Crazily enough, both teams are still in the EFL Cup.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll be watching it and you'll be watching your team. You're going, actually, yeah. So.
Right. So who am I getting?
We'll have 2. We haven't decided yet.
Amateurs.
I know I've been unkind, but...
We'll be back the week after, it's fine.
They'll be back the week after. That's fine. Thank you very much, guys. Jack and James will be back in a couple of weeks from the Football Fancast, but this section will still be here, giving you your fantasy football tips before the weekend. We're going to be back in just a few moments' time. Hi there, welcome back to Fan TV. I think we have the results in from the first poll of the evening on Twitter at FanTVK. Oh no, they're saying on my ear, no we don't. Okay, so brilliant. So that poll's still going. Go and have a vote, I guess, is all I've got to say about that. Let's get a couple more fans on the line green sofas. Come on, chaps, come join us. Good to see you. Good to see you. How you doing, all right?
Yeah, well,
how you doing? Yeah, it's good. Take a seat. First of all, do you want to explain what this is on the table? A stadium hopper, as they're called.
Indeed. Yeah, so we've brought a stadium hopper scratch pack with us along. Basically, the whole idea of it is if you're a football fan, you can go out there, as modelled by Toby, look, beautiful. We've done it in the green room earlier on, and out of the whole out of everybody in the green room today, we've done 86 of the 92, so almost every Football League club in the UK.
That's amazing. So that everyone that was in the green room, everyone that's appearing on the show tonight, fans-wise, ticks off all the stadiums that they've done, and it's in their lifetime, not just this season. And I can't believe how well you guys have done. It's incredible.
Not a bad effort, is it?
What happened to the coin that you scratched them with? It must have been weighed down to nothing. Fair play. And there's about 6 missing, but that's a serious effort. And you doing it yourself? You've got one of your own maps going, have you?
Yeah. So this is my map. Yeah, but
well, you can't just get everyone in the green room to scratch off. I thought you had your own.
I'll have to start my own one now back at home. I've got to refresh the one on my wall now. But I mean, they're available, so we sell them online for people and other fans to basically go on and we like people sharing it with us on social media so we can see where fans are going, find out some quirky stats about different grounds and bits and pieces as well.
What triggered it? I mean, my gut instinct was that as a Colchester fan, you went, well, I'm not watching them every week.
Well, there's got to be something else to look at other than the football, hasn't there? That's the only problem.
Yeah.
I thought it existed already, so I actually went online to buy one. And when I found that it didn't actually exist online, I thought, well, if there's not one there, then I'll make one for other football fans to have a go at.
Yeah, brilliant.
So we got it online. Follow us at Stadium Hoppers on Twitter as well. Really active on there in terms of, as I say, getting people to showcase where they're going, really.
Yeah. Let's start with where's the best stadium that you've been to?
See, I would take some slating for saying that one of my personal favourite stadiums is Stadium MK.
Really?
But do you know what? And the thing is, traditionally, I prefer an old ground. So, as a Colchester fan, Layer Road was absolutely amazing. You were from where you are to I on, from the pitch.
Yeah.
Had a real atmosphere. And typically I would go for the older grounds. I went up to Brunton Park to watch Colchester at Carlisle a few weeks ago. We lost, but the ground was an old rickety place which you could appreciate. It wasn't just a sort of a run-of-the-mill stadium that you could just dump anywhere. It had a bit of identity to it. It's decent little spot.
Really, I'm surprised that Stadium MK stood out. I guess when you're inside the stadium, it's the nicest part of Milton Keynes.
Well, yeah, there is that as well.
Which does help, doesn't it?
That's the only thing
Milton Keynes.
Only thing that isn't a grid system in Milton Keynes as well. So
yeah, that's very true. And the worst stadium you went to?
Ooh. I mean, as a Colchester fan, it would be bad to say the Western Homes, so I'll have to go with... Kenilworth Road is a dump.
Oh, Kenilworth Road is a bad
one.
Dump,
sadly.
They also think you just said it, by the way.
Yeah. Not on live TV, though.
Definitely not. We might talk about Colchester in a bit, but I want to move on to Man v Fat Football.
Yeah.
There we go. There it is. Look at that. Very nice shirt.
Thank you.
First of all, you're not fat, and that's not an XXL. What's going on?
No, it isn't. No, it could have been a couple of years ago, but no, we're okay.
Talk to us about Man v Fat Football. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, so it's a scheme to get overweight and obese guys, trying to get them a little bit thinner. We know that there's a huge problem with guys being overweight in the UK. What Man v Fat Football do is we look to help them lose weight through football. So to cut a very long story short, what we do is we get guys, we put them in teams, and the goals are not only scored on the pitch, but they're also in regards to the weight that they lose as well. So for instance, if you're in a team of 10 and 2 of your team lose weight, then you gain an extra goal.
This is from the week previously?
We weigh them before they play the football each week.
Okay.
So for instance, if 2 of your team lose weight, then you gain an extra goal. If 5 of your team lose weight, then you get an extra 3 goals, and so on and so on. So it's not just the goals on the pitch that count, it's also the goals that you also get by
amazing.
weighing a little bit less each week.
So you could walk off the pitch having won 4-3.
Yep.
And then bloody Keith hasn't shed a pound. So
exactly.
You end up losing 7-8.
Keith's managed to put on £2. Too many Jaffa cakes at half time. And you end up losing the game. But it's a brilliant idea. 30-minute matches, is that
exactly,
correct?
Yeah, exactly
and
right.
And it's a 14-match league season.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So any league that you'd get at any small-sided football provider, exactly the same.
And then at the end of 14 weeks, you just start again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, go on to season 2.
Start again. Hopefully, looking slender.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's
and
it.
Incredible statistic. It started in January.
Yeah, so it's very, very new.
Yeah,
really new.
And it's doing very well. But the most important statistic here: 95% of people that have entered it have lost weight since it started.
Yep, 95%.
Which is well done, by the way. That's amazing stuff. Right.
It wasn't me, so I'll give them a clap as well.
And we have a picture of you from before. And, this is him at 35 stone. It's amazing what 14 30-minute matches do for you. It's absolutely incredible. No, but it's a really good cause, and I'm glad to see it's doing well. We'll have to come down. And where can you find your nearest Man v Fat Football?
Go onto the website. So it's www.manvfatfootball.org. Get on there and it'll show you where the live leagues are, so the ones that are currently running.
and also the planned leagues as well. So there's going to be lots of leagues launching in January.
Awesome.
So get on there and have a little look where your nearest one is.
Awesome stuff. And sorry, and your website as well for the Stadium Hoppers was stadiumhoppers.net, is that correct?
Stadiumhoppers.co.uk.
Don't go to stadiumhoppers.net because I have no idea what's on there.
Don't know what you'll find.
Knowing the internet, it could be anything. Could be, I don't know, Stadium Hoppers might have some seedy undertone that I don't even know about. Anything could be filthy nowadays. Very quickly though, let's talk about your two teams, if you want to, only if you both want to.
League Two cannon fodder here. And coming up next, the biggest cannon fodder in the world.
We've got Leighton Orient coming up as well. We have scraped the bottom of the barrel of League Two to get you guys on tonight. No, let's start with Colchester. I'm sorry. I mean, so last Saturday, was that the lowest point of the season, the Yeovil game?
Yes, yeah, it was. I mean, the difficulty is we haven't been performing on the pitch probably for about 3 years now. You know, even before we came down this year, it was 3 years of struggling. Every year we scraped by that last season, last game of the season. Before last when we were playing Preston North End and we won to stay up in League One this season, or last season we weren't quite as fortunate, down in League Two now. And, you know, we thought actually we'd be challenging for the playoffs. We thought that, you know, we'd be pushing up there. We actually almost were quite excited to get relegated. We thought we might win some games. And then that hasn't really worked out like that.
So you were 1-0 up until the 86th minute in that Yeovil game and managed to lose 2-1, which is that's a painful one in anyone's
it's
book.
amazing.
But then out of nowhere, middle of the week, first win in 14, you won 3-0 away at Cheltenham.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, absolutely amazing. I mean, it's great to have Owen Garvin back in the side. You know, he's actually somebody who keeps the ball ticking over. We changed our system. There's been a lot of criticism about the system we were playing. We always look better when we've gone typically 4-4-2. Last night, I think we tried wing backs. That made a big difference. Having Dickinson back fit made a difference. Having Garvin back fit has made a big difference as well. You know, we were missing a few players, but there's still no excuses there really. There's a few players who we've brought in who haven't really performed as we would hope they would have done. I think, you know, one had a bit of trouble over Twitter at the weekend as well in terms of taking a bit of flack.
Really?
So, you know, the fans have been really frustrated.
It wasn't George Elokobi, because I'm not going to give in.
No, it wasn't George Elokobi, but actually, you know what, funnily enough, I had to take and ask George Elokobi to go and wear a Man v Fat football shirt a few weeks ago, about 3 weeks after a fan accused him of being fat on Twitter.
Oh, really?
And going up to George Elokobi holding that shirt and him thinking it was a gag was not a pleasant moment. Unfortunately, he's a very understanding...
he's a big old unit, George Elokobi.
He's a big boy, but he is... it's all muscle, I'll give him that. He is,
I seem to remember Mick McCarthy once just pulling up his shirt and showing off his six-pack to the Wolves fans. And it was a 12-pack. It was huge. It was
absolute animal.
He's an absolute animal, isn't he? Good to see him still playing. And Morecambe, who have done the impressive feat of being below Colchester in League Two.
Yeah, we have. We've achieved it now.
There's only space for 4 of you, and you're one of them.
Yeah, that's it, exactly.
He did give you the game a few weeks ago, in fairness.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that was one shining light in an otherwise tough season. Lost 2-1 away at Crewe in the middle of the week. That's your fourth loss on the bounce. You're 20th in League Two with a -14 goal difference, and that is the worst in the league by an extra 7 goals. Anyway, back to Colchester. Where is it all going wrong for Morecambe at the minute?
Coronation Street has less drama at the moment, unfortunately. New owner, players' contracts getting ripped up because of lack of money. Loanees going back to their Premier League clubs because supposedly unrest. So it's a bit, it's a struggle, shall we say. They do have one of the lowest budgets. All the fans are aware of that. So, but just being in League Two is a success for Morecambe. A lot of fans won't want me to say that, but it really is. So it's just a case of seeing if we can just get through to that magic 50 points and just see if we can just hang on another season. Dwindling crowds doesn't help, but you know, we just muddle on, keep going. Keep going. We do have one of the best pies, though. We do have one of the best pies in the Football League. So, you know, swings and roundabouts.
Selling them both in.
Now we're talking. When you're doing your stadium hopping, do you do that? Do you do a lot of comparing beer and pies and prices?
Well, do you know what? Actually, there's a feature in the Orient programme where they actually compare. I don't know if you guys have seen it or up next, but it does exactly that. So the guys at Orient, they've got a fan who goes away every week in, week out, and he actually rates as a stadium hoppers type thing the food, the journey, the match, the stadium. The lot as a feature at the moment, so it has been quite interesting to see. Where's comparing well?
Where is it that are renowned for their pies? Is it Kidderminster? Am I making it up? There's somebody that's renowned for their pies.
Yeah, Arsenal used quite good pies. Yeah.
Our resident pie expert.
Exactly. Yeah,
Can we get you on once a week on Skype? Like our French football expert.
Absolutely. It's more gravy kind of expert.
Yeah. How was the pie? I don't know. It was under too much gravy. Same as last week. Just quickly, I can tell you that Borussia Mönchengladbach are down to 10 men now against Man City, and it is 1-1 in that game as well. So Man City in with a chance of winning that. Let's look forward to the weekend. Colchester, Crewe at home. Crewe are 7th, beat Morecambe in the week. With the 3-0 in the middle of the week, does it feel like maybe a new dawn?
We could have turned a corner. I'm not going to commit to saying we've turned a corner.
It could be a
but,
roundabout.
I'm hoping we've... Yeah, exactly, yeah. I'm hoping we've turned a corner. Performances have got to improve, and, 3-0 away at Cheltenham is a decent result. However much they're struggling, it's still decent to get 3 goals away.
3-0 away anywhere.
At home, hopefully we can get some more fans there. We had probably our lowest attendance ever, I think, in the EFL Cup a few weeks ago. So hopefully some of the fans will come back after that 3-0 win and get behind the side, because that's what we really need.
Yeah, hopefully. And less than a minute to go, but Morecambe doesn't get any better, doesn't get any easier.
No.
Doesn't get any easier
really
this weekend. You're playing Plymouth? Plymouth, who are
exactly.
top of the league.
Yeah.
Away.
I'd be ecstatic with a 1-1 draw.
You'd be ecstatic. I think you and everybody else. And just quickly before we let you go as well, tell us about the London Stadium Challenge.
Yes, so basically to launch the map this year, we actually went round to every stadium in London in a day. So we started at 8 a.m. in the morning, got the first train into London from Colchester, managed to literally have a photo with the map on every ground. We did get chased off by a couple of chumps at Wembley in one of them little golf buggies, because they didn't like us putting the map up on Wembley.
We've got to take a break, but that's amazing. It's all on the websites. Thank you very much for joining us, guys. Thank you very much. Cheers. Cheers, guys. Thank you. Cheers. Hi there, welcome back to Fan TV. Some huge games going on tonight in the Champions League. The Champions League is similar to the Champions League, it's just said slightly differently. The earlier kickoff, FC Rostov beat Bayern Munich 3-2 in Russia, which is a crazy, crazy result. And a great game as well in the other early kickoff. Besiktas versus Benfica finished 3 goals apiece. Besiktas were 3-1 down in that game as well and pulled it back for a very important point for them. Arsenal are 1-1 at Paris Saint-Germain. They equalised just before half-time through Olivier Giroud. Atletico Madrid are winning 1-0 at home against PSV. They need that after their trouncing at the hands of Real Madrid over the weekend. Borussia Mönchengladbach, Man City is 1-1, but Borussia Mönchengladbach are down to 10 men at home, so City have got a great chance to pick up 3 points there. And Celtic have scored a second goal since I last gave you an update. Barcelona have scored a second goal against Celtic. It is that guy, Lionel Messi. You might have heard of him. He can play a bit. Ludogorets 0-0 with FC Basel, and Napoli drawing 0-0 at home to Dynamo Kiev. I got no fans of me on the lime green sofa, so let's get 2 more out. It's Peter and Steve. Come on, chaps. Come on, chaps. Good to see you. How are you doing, chaps? How are you doing? All right, take a seat, take a seat. We will come to your 2 clubs respectively, but first we're going to go to our weekly section where we get an update on Newcastle from Clint. So here we go. It's Clint from Newcastle. Let's have a look. Hello, Clint. Hello, mate. How are you doing? All right.
I'm good, fine. How you doing, mate? You all right?
Yes, I'm very, very well. I'm very, very well. I'm getting a bit sick of this feature, frankly, Clinton, because every week we have a catch-up with Clinton, and basically the update always is Newcastle are really good. Is that the latest from you, Clinton?
Yeah, I know. It's getting a bit boring now. I mean, we keep winning every single game, top of the league. No, it's getting a bit boring, isn't it?
Well, you don't seem to be too bored about it, Clinton. I mean, I have to admit, fair play to Newcastle. We discussed this last week. Leeds away, Gary Monk had them flying. It looked like a really tough game, and Newcastle passed it with flying colours, didn't they?
Well, yeah, it was billed as such a high-profile game, but again, I went to the game itself, and to be honest with you, I know obviously I'm going to be biased, but I didn't think they really had too much to offer, really. I mean, barring one fingertip save from Darlow, we pretty much bossed it for the full 90 minutes.
Dwight Gale got a brace in that game. Just how good has he been this season?
Oh, yeah. Back to doing what he does best, you know. Current number 9, 13 goals already this season. Oh, you know what? What a snip. Thank you very much, Mr. Pardew, once again for letting him go.
I think there's a few Crystal Palace fans who are looking at Dwight Gale going, have you got the same bloke we had? I'm sure he's not. Does it worry you at all with his goal scoring, though, that he hasn't done it in the Premier League for what looks like the inevitable promotion back to the promised land?
Yes and no. I mean, we can only worry about the here and now. At the moment, he's doing the business. So, again, that's what we're worried about. I believe when we get promoted, and I believe that will be this season, we will strengthen in that area anyway. But I think he can do it in the Premier League. He just needs the platform, and he needs the right manager around him to help, elevate his game. And that's Rafa Benitez.
Yeah, Rafa. I mean, they're 5 points clear in the Championship of Brighton, who aren't having a bad season themselves. Does it look like they're gonna run away with that league?
I'd say so, yeah.
Pretty much sewn up.
Yeah, pretty
sewn
much.
up already.
Yeah.
Sewn up already.
By Christmas, maybe.
By Christmas. Sewn up by Christmas. That must be nice to hear, Clinton. Be honest, at what point do you start thinking about the record points tally? Because I think that is definitely in sight for you guys this season. 106, the mighty Reading got 106. Is that something that Newcastle fans have talked about?
It's something I talk about on a weekly basis, basically. Podcast, I've got a Reading fan and he keeps going on about it. Please don't beat the records total. That's all we have. But I keep telling him, sorry, mate, we're after that. We're after the league. We're after everything in sight at the moment.
Domestic cup. Oh, sorry, bear with me. I've got a header of football quickly. There has been an own goal. Arsenal are 2-1 up against Paris Saint-Germain. Arsenal are 2-1 up against Paris Saint-Germain. That would be a huge result from 1-0 down as well. Sorry, Clinton, you wouldn't know anything about the Champions League. You wouldn't know anything about it. I've got to peg you down a little bit, mate, the way Newcastle are performing at the minute. 5 points clear, and also Newcastle at home to Blackburn on Saturday, which... if there is such thing as a sure thing in the Championship, that should be 3 points, shouldn't it?
Well, I hope so. I mean, we've got 2 big games coming up in this week. We've also got Blackburn at home on Saturday, and then obviously we've got the quarterfinals of the EFL Cup next week. So, all fun and games. fingers crossed we can get the 3 points against Blackburn. We're actually chasing a record now at the moment from Kevin Keegan's days back in 1992. So hopefully this game can go towards it, and then obviously onto the Cup next week as well.
So what's the record? Unbeaten streak, winning streak, or?
Yeah, an unbeaten streak. Basically, it was in 1992. I believe it was 13 games unbeaten when Keegan was in charge. Correct me if I'm wrong, Toon fans. But at the moment, obviously, we're at 8 or 9 altogether. So obviously chasing that down, and I think we will get that.
Yeah, still a few to go, though. Still a few to go. Let's not get carried away. Quick prediction for the scoreline. Saturday, 3 o'clock, Blackburn at St James's Park. What's it going to be?
3-0. Easy 3-0. Dwight Gale hat-trick. Thank you very much. 3 points, and then on to the next one.
Simples. It's that easy for Newcastle at the minute, isn't it? Clinton, mate, always good to hear from you. Hopefully, you lose, so I've got something to talk to you about other than just Newcastle doing really well. So come on, Blackburn. Come on, Blackburn. Not happy.
It's not that, Toby.
Cheers, mate. Good to hear from you, Clinton, mate. Speak to you next week.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate. That was our man about Toon. There he is, Clinton Ford will be back with us same time next week right here on Fan TV. Where to begin with you two, Leyton Orient and Everton.
Yeah.
But your friends?
We met on the comedy circuit.
Really?
Both do stand-up comedy.
Really?
And we got talking about football, and we got a podcast. We're doing a podcast. It's going to start doing it in the new year. We're going to have a Christmas special, end of year special, round up the year.
Oh, really?
And then going to get going on a regular basis.
And that's a general football podcast?
Yeah,
a bit of a fun sort of
footballing
focus.
Be a comedy.
I was going to say it must be difficult to find Leyton Orient and Everton too much to discuss that crosses over both teams. So it's more wide reaching.
Definitely. We're going to be taking the ironic angle.
Yeah, fair enough. No, go for it. Leyton Orient, we did well to find two teams nearly as useless as Leyton Orient to join us in the line grid for a few moments ago. Sorry, chaps, still here. Forgot you were here. No, Leyton Orient, 22nd in League Two. You managed to be below Colchester and Morecambe.
You did well. To find us. Yeah, it's been a grim season. We've sacked another manager at 5:45 today. Before, obviously, it's coming off the tube. I got a message. So he lost 8 out of 10 games. The Alberto didn't speak a word of English,
which is always a good start. Alberto Cavassin, yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't sure whether it was, it was a sort of a sitcom moment again. He appointed another guy that doesn't speak English. It's not the fact that he doesn't, he's Italian. It's that he doesn't speak English, and he can't put that across to the players.
Well, that Alberto Cavassin hadn't worked in 5 years.
Exactly.
And then he got the Leyton Orient job. I mean, I'd be interested to know how much he knew about Leyton Orient as he arrived.
We were discussing that. I think he probably heard about Orient about 45 minutes before he got the offer. I think maybe something like that, from his agent, and he snapped the offer up. I think, but he didn't speak a word of English, and he lasted 10 games. Didn't expect him to last much longer, to be fair.
No, as you say, won just 2 games, and he came out after you lost your last game at home to Exeter.
Last night, yeah.
You lost, last night. You lost 1-0 at home to Exeter, and he came out and said the players are not showing their quality and that the players are better than they're showing in this league, which surely goes to show the manager's not doing his job, doesn't it? I mean, did he sign his own death warrant there a little bit?
I think he did. I think he was always, in a lot of the fans' mind, bearing in mind what's happened over the last 2 years under the new owner, Mr. Bichetti, it was always going to be a very short-term appointment.
Would you just give the owner one of them? I saw you just gave a subtle one of them.
Almost.
I saw your fingers start to do that.
It's been an interesting 2 years.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's probably the politest word you can use on a show that's family-friendly. Exactly. So thank you for using that word. Here's a statistic that you might not enjoy. Leyton Orient have just become the second side in Football League history to lose 9 of their first 10 home league games in a season, matching Newport's run in 1970 to 1971. Then Exeter was your latest home game. You lost 1-0. The fans were booing at half-time. Is it a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy at times, though, that the fans are so unhappy with how things are run, and quite right too as well, that it almost becomes impossible for the players to perform at home underneath that atmosphere? So it's a kind of never-ending circle in a way?
It's really hard, yeah. It's... as you say, it's a self. Do you boo the players? Do you boo the up above, the chairman, the manager? It's just crazy. What do you do? There was a protest on Saturday. There was 500 people there. It was outside the ground. It was before the match. It was a peaceful protest. And You know, once we won our previous away game at Colchester, and then it's followed by 2 home defeats Saturday and last night. It's
Only 2 go down, which could be your saving grace. It really could be your saving grace this season. Are you confident that there's 2 teams worse than you in League Two?
I think now they've changed the manager. If we sort of grind down, maybe get something happens in the transfer window, then we could do it. If not, I'm looking forward to next season. Some new derbies away at Sutton United, Braintree.
That is the most
Dover,
glass half full of
Aldershot. I'm looking at it as a promotion to the non-league. The football league's upside down.
When you came down, and obviously as you continue to languish in League Two, did you think you were going to be? Did you think promotion was a possibility going into the season?
It was, yeah. It was, yeah.
That seems to be. I've spoken to a few later on at fans who seem to think the same.
Yeah, you had my friend on a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Matt, yeah. No, we should have. Potentially we were one of the strongest teams. With the new owner, we had a potential big budget. We brought in a lot of big name players. Jay Simpson, Dessina, used to play for Liverpool. Came in at one point. So we should have gone up last season. We had the budget. We had the confidence to go up last season. It didn't happen. This season hasn't happened.
Yeah, no, it's not going too well, but I can tell you that Dossiner is never the answer. As a Liverpool fan, I'll tell you straight away, Dossiner is never the answer. We'll come back and we'll talk about Everton after the break, who are doing, actually, not too well, but better than you. We're back in a couple of seconds. I can tell you City are down to 10 men as well. Just giving our Twitter account a pat on the back in the ad break there. Yeah, we've got loads of followers coming in. Appreciate it, guys. You can follow us at FanTV UK. Let's talk about Everton. Brilliant. Dropped 2 points on the weekend.
Yeah.
Swansea at home.
We've been dropping a lot of points. I think, 1 win out of the last 7. So, yeah, it was looking really good at the beginning with Koeman, and now I think the honeymoon's kind of over with it. Yeah.
It's a strange one. I didn't expect the bubble to burst so soon.
So quickly,
exactly.
Just before it was
completely.
Like, we were going a bit mad, weren't we? Like, oh my God, we're doing really well. And then it just, I think a lot of fans, I think a few fans are starting to get a little bit. There isn't, like, I was there on Saturday, right? And they were booing at half time.
Really?
Yeah. Playing Swansea. And
we were rubbish up till, well, for most of the match. Like, we were better second half, got the goal in the last minute. But, yeah, I think a few of the fans had really high expectations after the first few games, and now we're like, oh, God, what's going on? Same old, same old.
Yeah, it's a strange one. I can't really put my finger on what's changed from the beginning of the season, really.
I think, well, maybe there was some enthusiasm at the beginning, and now, basically, you look at the team and you think, well, we need 6, 7 new players. And that's really it.
Has there been an adjusting as well to the fact that Ronald Koeman could not be more different from Roberto Martinez?
Yeah, exactly. And he's very. Whereas Martinez was like, we'd have like the Christmas video out with Martinez singing with everyone and stuff, and it's just like that's not going to happen, is it? And I think Martinez was trying to show that he had a certain understanding of Everton and of the team and of the history and all that. And I think Koeman, he says it, but you can see that for him, it's just like, it's a project and now it's business. And I think for a few fans, that was like, oh, that's quite good, actually. This is like the new way forward. But now we're starting to think, well, maybe isn't it? I don't know. So, I mean, I've never heard anyone singing Koeman's name at Goodison this season. So, I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know if we've taken him to heart yet.
I don't feel that Everton fans have taken him under their wing quite yet. I mean, he's not done himself any favours. He came out and said Liverpool look like title winners.
Exactly. Yeah, you never do that, do you? I mean, you never do that. And then there was the whole Lukaku thing about him.
He said Lukaku may need to move on to a bigger club.
It's like, what are you talking? What are you talking about? Yeah. So he's not really. I think he likes to say it as it is. At the same time, though, after we got thrashed by Chelsea. He didn't put his hands up, did he, and say, oh, I did a terrible job. So I think a lot of people are saying, well, cut him some slack because he likes to say it as it is. But then at the same time, he should be talking about his shortcomings as well, shouldn't he? So
I think there was an indication as well that Koeman didn't do his research into Everton the way that Martinez did.
Yeah.
Probably the Liverpool comment.
Yeah, probably. That's not going to endear him to anyone, is it?
I think abrasive character is maybe the word for Ronald Koeman.
Yeah, and people are saying it's a Dutch sort of thing, and but I don't know. I think he's got his focus on what he wants to achieve, and I don't think he wants to make any friends along the way. So I don't know if that's gonna. I don't know if that's gonna help or hinder him. I don't know.
So he might win the FA Cup, but he'll do it alone.
Exactly.
He won't have any friends to go and share the moment with. But he might win you a trophy. We're going to come back to Everton, but we've got Sam again on Skype who's been watching the Arsenal game for us very kindly. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
I can hear you. I can't. Oh, there you are. Hello. How you doing, Sam? Good to see you again, mate. 2-1, I believe.
Yeah, it's 2-1 to Arsenal.
Talk us through the second goal. Who got it and how did it go in?
Well, it was a Verratti own goal. It was because Arsenal kept piling the pressure on Paris Saint-Germain, and it was a crossing. I believe it was from Ozil. I mean, it's so hard. Like whenever someone crosses it in, I don't know who's crossed it, but then it's hit off. I think it was Ramsey, and then it bounced off a PSG player. And then he hit Verratti and it went in. So yeah, it was just a bit of a mix-up, and it just eventually went into the back of the net. So yeah.
Are Arsenal good for their lead? Take off your Arsenal hat for a moment. Are Arsenal good for their lead, Sam?
Not really.
I appreciate your honesty. I wasn't expecting it.
Because we are getting the ball forward now. As I'm just seeing Ramsey just missing an opportunity there. PSG are attacking. I mean, Cavani's been trying to get into our back line, but consistently we're holding him off. But PSG are threatening every now and again with their sharpness, with their quickness. Yeah.
If you do hang on to this win, it'll be a huge win. Have we seen signs this season from Arsenal in the last month or so that suggest maybe this season's a bit different? Because you didn't perform particularly well at home against Spurs. Certainly didn't perform well against Manchester United on the weekend. And by the sound of things, might be a bit fortuitous tonight. But you're picking up results in those games. Is that different from the Arsenal that you've seen in recent seasons?
Yeah, it does. Because Old Trafford away, we all would have seen it as, it's another loss again. But this time, we didn't perform to our best, but we at least got something out at Old Trafford. We at least got a point, and it does show that we are improving. Like with this, if we can hang on to this PSG, this lead we got against PSG, it'll be a massive difference. It'll be a massive boost for the team as well, going into the festive period coming up next month, and our next game's on. I think it's on Saturday or Sunday against Bournemouth, and it'll be a massive boost for us as well.
Perfect. Good luck, Sam. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for getting in touch, and good luck for the remaining 10 minutes or so in that game. He looks nervous.
Thank you.
He looks nervous. Bless him, bless him. Thank you for watching it, Sam. Just quickly coming back to Everton as well, we were discussing beforehand. Talk about in January, there was a poll came out and Everton fans voted Memphis Depay, the player that they'd most like to sign.
That'd be great, wouldn't it?
It would be, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously people are talking about lots of different names, aren't they? I mean, Rooney's been coming up quite a lot. I don't know. So, yeah, we've got money now. That's the thing, isn't it? So we should be able to get some good players in. Hopefully that can change things around, so fingers crossed.
Is that talk of Depay a sign that Yannick Bolasie has failed? Or certainly hasn't, a bit like Ronald Koeman, the fans haven't taken to him either?
I think Bolasie, and a big money signing, Bolasie, right? And he's like, there's always been a lot of potential around Bolasie, but he's never really delivered. And this goes back, like I lived in Malta for a long time. Bolasie played in Malta for a Maltese team a few years ago.
Did he?
And even then it was like, well, he's really good, but he seems to be lacking something. And
I love that Yannick Bolasie did nothing in the final third in the Malta League as well.
Yeah, exactly. He seems to be lacking something. And I mean, when Everton bought him, I was a little bit surprised. A few of my mates were like, yeah, he's good. I don't know. I think he'll be given a bit more time. But also I think Koeman really likes his wide players. So yeah, we might be stocking up on them.
Yeah.
So we'll wait and see.
The producer of hello. Sorry. Oh, Sam. Sorry, Sam.
PSG.
Paris Saint-Germain have equalised away at Arsenal 2-2 there. Lucas, I assume that's Lucas Moura has got the goal there. Sorry, Sam. Our producer's a big Palace fan, and she asked me in my ear just now, has Yannick Bolasie had his one good game for Everton yet?
Well, yes. I don't know if we can say it's been his. Well, yes, he has. So, but we hope he'll have a few more. I mean, he's not that bad. It seemed like a bit of a surprise because we needed another striker, right? Well, without you get rid of Lukaku, there's nothing else there. So I thought that would have been his focus, and it hasn't really happened. So yeah, Bolasie was a bit of a surprise. I would have been striker, goalkeeper, and then maybe started looking at the wings. But yeah, I'm obviously not Ronald Koeman.
Yeah, exactly. We'll leave it up to Ronald. Let's get a couple of predictions. First of all, Leyton Orient away at Doncaster, which is a very, very tough game in League Two. They're third in the league. At the moment. Predictions for that game? I mean, your away form's your best bet.
We are actually better away from home. I'd say I'll take a draw. I think we can, with the new manager in, temporary manager Andy Edwards. I'll take a draw. I think we can get a draw out of that.
Yeah. Scoreline?
I'll go 1-1.
Go 1-0?
Yeah. I just say, I have been to Doncaster before and we lost 5-0.
You went to 5-0 at the Keep Moat, that must have been a load.
Keep Moat, yeah, and we sat in the little porter cabin, which they called a bar. That was interesting, yeah.
Drowning your sorrows after the 5-0.
Yeah, we sat there and surrounded by Doncaster fans. I think they felt sorry for us.
Oh, that was nice of them.
But,
did they buy you a drink?
They didn't on that occasion.
I feel that sorry for him.
No, not that.
Yeah, not that sorry. No. And Everton, tough game. Southampton away on Sunday, the late kick-off there. But Southampton playing tomorrow night in Europa League?
I reckon we can sneak a win. So I reckon we'll sneak a 1-0. But I don't know. I mean, I thought we were going to win last Saturday as well, and we didn't. So I don't know. I reckon 1-0 we'll win.
I know last Saturday's not a great indication of this, but it seems to be Everton have put all their eggs in their home form basket so far this season. Is that a fair point?
Yeah. But again, it's just we're so inconsistent. It's just, and then you start. Thing is, you look at the team, you think, wow, it's quite a good team, and then you really look at the team, you think, actually, not really.
There's a lot of them are the usual suspects that have been knocking around and not achieving for a few years.
And you think they should be. I don't know, they should be achieving more than they are.
7th at the moment, though, so 7th's not all bad. Just quickly, the poll that we've been running on Twitter at FanTVUK is closed, I believe, and I think we had the results in from that. Last night, one English side topped their group, the other was eliminated. Which would you prioritise, the Champions League or the Premier League? 62% of you said you would prioritise the league, and I think we got some other tweets in as well. There's blatantly the 62% that have been knocked out. The league is obviously the priority, but winning the Champions League is a pipe dream. Why do this to me? That is Gianluca, friend of the show. Sorry, Gianluca, Arsenal fan. Sorry, Gianluca. Any more reactions as well? Those who choose Champions League are those with a top 4 mental problem. Prem is first and foremost. Champions League is just an added extra. Very interesting stuff, this. And one more as well. If Burnley won the FA Cup and were relegated from the Premier League, I'd take it. Winning a trophy is history. Finishing 17th, who cares? Very interesting that. I mean, very interesting. I think maybe I've got my Liverpool glasses on, but give me a Champions League trophy. But then I don't know what winning the Premier League's like, so I don't know. What do you guys say there?
I would say go for a trophy. I mean, I'd much prefer, like, if I was a Leicester fan, I'd be like, yeah, let's put all our eggs into the Champions League trophy basket. You know, let's just go for that and just make sure we're not relegated. But
that's it. Nobody remembers second place, do they?
Exactly.
Nobody remembers second place. Do you agree with that?
I agree. I think the way we're doing it at the moment, I'm thinking of maybe jumping on the Leicester bandwagon and start supporting them. You know, I think they've got a lot more fans in London since the trophy. They might have to move their Champions League games to Wembley. Maybe.
Yeah.
It worked for Spurs, but you know.
So it's a bit of an odd moment, this, asking a Leighton Orient fan, would you rather win the Premier League or the Champions League? We just want to get a point at Doncaster. Is that so much to ask? Guys, that is all we have time for. It's absolutely flown by tonight, our first 2-hour show, or my first 2-hour show. But thank you very much for joining us. In a word, where are Leighton Orient going to finish? 18th.
6th.
6th. Perfect. Okay, well, Justin Lee Collins is back from 7:30 tomorrow to round up tonight's games and update you on the Europa League games as well. We have got a picture here to leave you with on Fat TV, and we will see you next week.